Hello, Hope College. Welcome back to Hope Update, the Holland area's only Hope College student-produced broadcast news show. Here to bring you campus headlines are myself and my partner in crime, Nicole Metzler.
Today on Hope Update, we talk Hope College. Taylor Jones gives the cam a closer look. Melissa has a few international scoops. Eric Van Swol returns for another sports wrap-up. And finally, we have a brand new segment for you tonight. Philosopher Bob is going to bring some wisdom and reflective thinking to our set. For now, let's look at some campus headlines. Hope College will be dancing this weekend. Friday and Saturday see two awesome events return to Hope students, Dance Marathon and Dance 42.
That is correct. The 17th installment of Hope College Dance Marathon will take place this weekend, subjecting dancers, moralers, performers, and administrators to 24 hours of ignoring their feet. Last year, the marathon raised $182,187.30 for the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. This year, the goal is to reach $190,000. Whew.
Thank goodness we aren't a sleepy little town in Oklahoma. Another long-running dance event is wrapping up this weekend. Dance 42, the 42nd installment of Hope College's Dance Department Showcase, has its final two performances this weekend. On Thursday through Saturday at 7:30 p.m., come out to the Knickerbocker Theater on 8th Street to see the art that our dancers work to create every day.
Holland is going to be all danced out by the time Sunday comes around. I'm tired just thinking about it. In other quick news, if you didn't notice, activations this week for Greek life, so watch yourselves. And the weather is going to continue to be beautiful, so get outside and get that vitamin D. The backlight on your tablet isn't improving your tan.
Now, Taylor's got an inside look at the new Kreisinga Art Museum on campus. Let's take it over to Taylor.
Currently, I am surrounded by the unique art here at the Kreisinga Art Museum. This building opened up this past September and has since been an important part of the Hope College campus and Holland community.
The Kreisinga Art Museum was founded to be a teaching resource for students of all majors.
Our mission is to work with departments all across campus to find ways to make art relevant to their classes. And so we do that by bringing in classes, say, from history or from women's studies or from chemistry, and then we look at art through the lens of whatever the class is studying. So right now we have an exhibition called Past, Present, East, West, which features selections from the permanent collection. And basically we have two galleries in the museum. On one side we have art from Europe and the Americas. On the other side we have art from Asia. Okay. So this is one of my favorite pieces in the Asian gallery. It's by a contemporary Chinese artist named Wang Guangyi that I've been following for almost 25 years, and so I was very happy and excited to be able to acquire one of his works for Hope College.
This diverse collection has had a great response from the community since opening last September.
In the first 3 months that we were open, we had about 2,000 people visit the museum from the larger community and from the Hope campus. The building does stand out on campus, and that is intentional. So when the lead donors to the project, Dick and Margaret Kreisinga, were considering making a gift to establish the museum, Margaret Kreisinga in particular said that she didn't want a building that looked like anything else on campus. She didn't want a traditional red brick building. She wanted something that would be an artistic statement in its own right. Beginning next semester, the fall of 2016, we will switch to having more thematic exhibitions.
If you haven't already, come see the current collection on display here at the Kreisinga Art Museum. This is Taylor Jones. Back to you, Duncan and Nicole.
Thank you, Taylor. Can't wait to get a closer look myself. Now, we have an exciting brand new segment for you. Bob, over here in the corner, is going to share with us some wisdom from the East. Let's let him do his thing.
Oh, hello there. That was a great segment, wasn't it? Thanks, Taylor. That art really filled me. Anyways, today we're going to introduce you to a new segment. It's Philosophy with Bob. And today we'll be reading a nice little book called the Tao Te Ching. So a little wisdom from the East. Today's passage is from the 29th entry in the Tao Te Ching. Do you think you can take over the universe and improve it? I do not believe this can be done. The universe is sacred. You cannot improve it. If you try to change it, you will ruin it. If you try to hold it, you'll lose it. So sometimes things are ahead and sometimes they are behind. Sometimes breathing is hard. Sometimes it comes easily. Sometimes there is strength and sometimes weakness. Sometimes one is up and sometimes down. Therefore, the sage avoids extremes, excesses, and complacency. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Bob, for giving us so much to chew on this week. Now, while we think about it, let's take it over to Melissa with some international headlines.
Thanks, guys. Let's start off our world news in the Eastern Hemisphere. Kim Jong-un said the country's nuclear warheads need to be ready for use at any time, the North Korean state news agency KCNA reported last Friday. The news agency also confirmed the test fire of a new multiple launch rocket system. It's unclear whether that event is the same launch by North Korea of short-range projectiles, said the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff. Heading off the coast of Hawaii, scientists with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration have been mapping the uncharted ocean waters off the state's coast. They found an unknown species of octopod. The creature was deemed Casper for his 2 black eyes and ghostly appearance. It was found northwest of Hawaii, near Necker Island, while filming with a remotely operated vehicle. Michael Vecchione with NOAA's National Marine Fisheries Service said it is almost certainly an undescribed species and may not belong to any described genus. Octopods and octopuses are both members of the Octopoda family, but are not the same thing. Another interesting note is that this discovery is the deepest dwelling unfinned octopod ever found, at over 14,000 feet below the surface. Now, heading to Houston, or should I say back from Houston. Astronaut Scott Kelly, who grew about 2 inches during his nearly 1-year stay on the International Space Station, is back to his normal height, his identical twin brother said on Thursday. Scott Kelly, whose spine elongated while he spent 340 days in space, took less than 2 days to shrink. He grew 1.5 inches before returning to normal. Scott Kelly landed in Kazakhstan on Wednesday morning and arrived in Houston to hugs and American treats a day later. In a statement, the White House said, Kelly's year in space would provide critical data to researchers trying to understand how to keep astronauts healthy during a long space voyage and fulfill the president's vision of putting American astronauts on Mars in the 2030s. There were some wonderful scientific discoveries made this week. Thank you, science, for all of the amazing things that we can still learn. I'm back, Melissa Bazzani. Back to you, Nicole and Duncan.
Thank you, Melissa. You were very informative, and the North Koreans were very shady. Sounds like business as usual. Now, let's go to Eric Van Swol, who's got an exciting sports wrap-up for us.
Welcome, Hope sports fans. We hope you're enjoying the transition period between the end of the winter seasons and the start of the spring seasons. In regard to the winter seasons, the Hope College men's basketball team closed a successful season with a 96-80 loss at top-ranked Augustana College in Illinois this past Saturday in the second round of the 2016 NCAA Division III Championship. The 9th-ranked Flying Dutchman ended the 2015-2016 season with a 24-4 overall record and finished the season as regular season MIAA champions. On the women's side, a valiant comeback came up heartbreakingly short for the Hope College women's basketball team Friday night at DeVos Fieldhouse. The 5th-ranked Flying Dutch missed a go-ahead shot as time expired to suffer a 73-72 loss to 25th-ranked Carnegie Mellon out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the first round of the NCAA Division III Championship. The women's program finished the 2015-2016 season with a 26-2 overall record and as MIAA tournament and regular season champions. The good news for other Hope basketball players, seniors Maura McAfee and Ben Gardner have both claimed the College Sports Information Directors of America Academic All-America recognition for the 2015-2016 season. McAfee is a senior from Midland, Michigan, and is a second-team selection on the 15 players from the women's side, while Gardner is a senior from Carmel, Indiana, and is a third-team selection on the 15 players from the men's side. Moving on to spring sports, the Hope College baseball team is picked second in this year's conference standings by the coaches behind Adrian in the 2016 MIAA preseason baseball coaches poll. Hope opens the season this Friday and Saturday, March 11 and 12, with 3-game series at Franklin, Indiana. The Flying Dutchmen will then play 7 games in Winter Haven, Florida between March 18 and 23. Home opener is March 26 versus Alma. On the women's side of that, the softball team is picked 3rd behind Trine and Alma in the 2016 MIAA preseason softball coaches poll. The Flying Dutch opened the 2016 season Friday, March 18 with 2 of 12 games in Claremont, Florida. The home opener for them is March 28 versus Aurora out of Illinois. We're here to keep you updated on all things sports, and that's what we're trying to do. Back to you, Duncan and Nicole.
Thank you, Eric, for an exciting sports wrap-up as always. Congratulations to the basketball teams on 2 successful seasons. It may have ended bitter, but we loved watching it. Can't wait for next year. That's all we got for this week.
As always, make sure you follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Hope Update.
Speaking of social media, check out our description for a link to a Dance Marathon fundraising page. All proceeds raised go to the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital and the battle to end childhood cancer. For all of us here at Hope Update, including my co-anchor Nicole Metzler, I'm Duncan McLean. Good night.